Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining me today. I do hope you're well. We're back in Poppyfields, and first thing I want to do is apologise for the lack of videos last week. Only got the one out on the Monday. I just had a really busy weekend basically. I just didn't have time to do any recording. And Tuesday, when I also tend to get a bit of time for recording, I just had lots of stuff to do around the house, lots of stuff in the garden. You can't ignore these things, otherwise the garden gets away from you and housework has to be done. So life gets in the way sometimes, but I'm back now. I'm recording this on Saturday. I'm hoping I should get an episode done today, one tomorrow, and possibly one on Tuesday. So I should get 3 episodes out this week, hopefully. Anyway, well, let's crack on. So we've got our capybara and our wallabies happily getting on in our little enclosure here. We finished our cave, I believe, in the last episode. Yeah, this is looking really cool. I like that. I'll do some foliage around the top. One thing I do want to come back and have a little look at is this. I like it, but I just want to do something. I'm not sure what. I think I want to sort of make it just look a little bit more solid. So I'm just thinking I might just try and do something like this. Oh, hang on. Which direction is this? Yeah. I just feel like it needs to look a little bit more finished, I think I'll... Ooh. Do you know what? Maybe I'll try it so it just sticks out a little bit less, like that. Okay, let's go with this and see what we think. Yeah, so it just sticks out a little bit. Oh, hang on, that didn't place for some reason. Let's try that again. Oh dear, okay. Yeah, right, so it lets me move one of them in the right direction. It doesn't let me do 2 of them. It's very strange. That's fine though, I can do it like this. I think that looks nice. And then hopefully what I can do here is twist the whole thing and just bring it straight over to this side. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, there we go. Just makes it look a bit more of a solid structure. It just looked a little bit flimsy before. Great. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So let's get some. Oh, actually, first off, let's do some food. Let's come in here. So what do we got in here? We got, what are they? Red-necked wallabies. Right. Let's come down and find actually a capybara. And where are we? Red-necked wallaby. Nice. Okay. So as far as food goes, they can have one of these big food troughs, which I really like. Let's get one of them over there. Do I want 2? Yeah, let's give them options. Why not? I don't see what's wrong with that. As far as water goes, I'd like to put a water trough in, even though they've obviously got a lake. But I do quite like to put these troughs in as well if I can. I like the look of these. Just wondering if I can just... Yeah. Oh, it's not going to let me place it. I was really hoping I could just place that like that. Okay, that's fine. I can't do that. What do we got for enrichment? Oh, look at that. Loads of good enrichment stuff. Let's get some of this in, and then I will... Ooh, that's an interesting one. I've not used these before. I'll do foliage and stuff around them. I like these. Never used these before. Looks kind of cool, doesn't it? let's just check they're usable like that. Hot water tap, interesting. Okay, great. Let's get a feeder in over here. Then we've got various other balls and melons and things. So let's get some of these in as well. Make sure they've got plenty of choice. Let's give them a barrel feeder over in the corner here. Hopefully that won't roll into the water. Let's get them a duck in the water, of course. Oh look, he's using the tap. That's cool. Oh, we've got one of these foragers here as well. Let's get one of those in. Let's give them a little scent marker thing as well. And a ball. They're basically just going to have everything that they could possibly want. What is that? A veggie jelly cake? No, I'm not putting that in. That just looks silly. There we go. I think that's going to be enough. Great. Okay, now let's just quickly come in here. So I couldn't put that tap on here, but I can put one of these on. So there we go. So that looks like that's going to get filled up. Let's call a keeper urgently to get that filled up. Cool. Okay. Now let's do some decorating. So we'll get some reeds in. I'll go with these ones because they don't block traversable area. Let's get rid of some of this snapping malarkey. We don't need all that. So we'll just get some of these in here. Don't need a lot. I might get one or two rocks in here. Let's get some lily as well. I don't really want these in the middle because that's where the animals would spend most of their time. So we'll just focus some of these just on the edge. Something like that. Look at that. They are loving these taps, aren't they? Look at that. That is so cool. I've never seen these before. They're fantastic. Cool. Okay, so that's looking good. I'll get some normal foliage around the edge as well. So let's go arrowwood. You know how much I love this stuff. I'm just going to get a bit of this around the edge. Kind of growing through things a little bit. Like so. Good. That looks nice. And then what do we want in the rest of the habitat? Like I said before, they don't need a lot. You don't need to really fill the area up. When I've seen these animals in wildlife parks near me, they just have a field, basically. That's all they need. A big grassy field. So that is pretty much what they're going to get. I will put bits and pieces in. Particularly like around the edges on the rocks and that. I really like to decorate edges. And then we'll just keep most of the middle bits quite free. Let's see, let's get a bit of creosote bush in. Actually, let's get a nice bit kind of here. Give them a little bit of privacy behind that. Maybe a bit on this corner. Let's get a nice flowering one in over here, maybe up the back at the end of this bush, at the end of the hedge line. Sorry, I don't want to block the view of the feeding there, but I don't mind having something further along. Not keen on that. That's quite a nice little bush. Let's get a couple of these in. So in other habitats in this zoo, I have done real detail with the ground. I'm going to do a tiny bit, but not a lot, because it doesn't really suit these animals to have a really sort of crowded ground area. I will get a couple of trees. Not sure what, but I will get something in here. Actually, I like this sort of thing. No, do you know what, actually? What's the umbrella tree? Yeah. See, I think this sort of thing will work because it will offer some shade. So maybe if I just get a couple of those like that. Yep, that looks nice. And I will get something in elsewhere like this. You know, a couple of these around the base of the trees always looks nice. Maybe a slightly different coloured one here and there. And then we have got this kind of thing. So this is what I've done before, is put a lot of this down. I don't think it's going to work here. Like I don't want to go over the top with it. I'll just get bits around the edge. But these animals are, you know, they're grazers, so they would kind of nibble the grass. So I don't think you would end up with much of this stuff actually showing. So I'm very excited about my next project, which is going to be a little, a very sort of a highly detailed jungle zoo. So small pathways, everything done on a very small scale, but very detailed is my plan. Very swampy, lots of little streams and rocks and waterfalls, that kind of thing. But yeah, all very intricate is my plan. But we'll see. I'm not there yet. I'm not obviously done with this zoo yet. But we're not a million miles away, I don't think. Now I'm just going to come back to my favourite, and I'm just going to get some of this in up here. You can see there the slight lag that I'm getting already, which shows that I am nearing my limits, unfortunately, of this computer running this zoo. So that's telling me that it's almost time to move on, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So this is the outside edge of my zoo, so I don't really need to decorate that outer edge. Just wanted a little bit of foliage up on there to make that look a little bit more real. Great, there we go. I think that's going to do it for our habitat. I think that's really nice. I think the animals have got plenty of room to run around, plenty of things to play with. Looks nice and natural. So yeah, I'm very happy with that. So let's do this edge over here. So this is going to get lined. This whole pathway is going to have hedging, which luckily is quite straightforward to do now that we have this beautiful hedgerow in the game. So someone challenged me, I think it was, I can't remember, apologies if I'm wrong, but I think it was Super Ghost UK, said about having a habitat that's got a sort of a herbivore and a carnivore together. Interesting idea. So I guess that would be a cat, logically, and then, what wouldn't go with a cat? I guess something like peacocks. That could be interesting, a cat and a peacock, because clearly a cat would want to eat a peacock. So yeah, I might do something like that next. Who knows? Why not? I mean, I like the daftness of it. There we go. So that is lined our edge. Let's get a few let's do a few more trees, a couple more. What have we got here? Common ash. So let's just get a couple more common ash. So if that's the edge of the park there, I don't want to block the view because I kind of like people from the outside be able to see in a bit. So that's all you need really, because as people are coming down the road, which obviously the road hasn't been extended, but I'm not going to do that for the sake of it. But if people were out here, they would be able to see a bit in, which is fine. Yeah, there we go. So that's kind of that corner done. I could fill all this up, but really I'm just filling it for the sake of filling it. And like I say, my computer's already struggling a little bit, so I don't want to overfill. Let's just see, what have we got? I guess what I could do, I could make this the outside. I think I need to start wrapping this up. As much as I'd love to keep going, I have had a lot of fun with this zoo, but I do think it's maybe time to wrap up. We've got this. I mean, this is an obvious kind of outer edge to the zoo as well, really, isn't it? Maybe I could fit just one more little habitat there, and then I can just finish this off with an outside sort of hedge area. If I could create like a generic edge that I could put all around the outside. Now let's see, what have we got over here? Yeah, so that's all good over there. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at our animals then. Oh, maybe an aardvark and a cat. That could be quite interesting. I feel like something like a leopard would quite happily eat an aardvark, but I kind of like the idea of them living happily together. Let's do it. Let's do an African leopard and an aardvark. I'll create a little jungle habitat. So we're going to do this over here because we've got this little shape going on here. So what I'll do, let's get the pathway coming in first. So we'll widen that out. Terrain modification. Why is it, what's it doing? Path supports? Is it because of that? Ooh, that's really strange. Why is it doing that? I guess that's because of the barrier coming in there. But that's just bizarre that it's not going to let me adjust that. Let's have a look. Let's just move that in there for a second. Okay, hang on. Right, at least I've got a pathway out. Although actually no, let's... Okay, there we go. That's not perfect, but it'll do. Right, so let's just come back in here and readjust this. Well, that was odd. Never mind, we got there in the end. So we've got a bit of a funky shape going on there, but that's fine. I can work with that. Okay, so let's get a small habitat put in here. So will this be our last habitat? I think it might be. What did we have out on the bus that we hadn't done? So we've done Wallaby and Capybara. So we hadn't done Koala or Tasmanian Devil. I could try and fit them into our jungle zoo, even though they're probably not quite the right animals. I don't know about the Tasmanian Devil. I don't really know much about that. Koala, not really, but it's fine. I can squeeze them into a jungle zoo. But let's do... I mean, I might still have to fit another habitat over here somewhere. We were thinking of doing like a fake treetop walkthrough, weren't we, with the koalas? Although I think that will work better actually in my jungle zoo. So yeah, maybe I will leave that. We'll get there eventually. I just think this zoo is just getting to that stage where my computer's not handling it. Now, did I put a keeper hut attached to this over here? Let me just check. Did I put something in there, didn't I? Yeah, and a keeper. I did a keeper hut and a thingy. What's it? I think. Let's just check. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Let's have a look. New work zone. No, I have not done that. So we'll put a habitat in. And then we've got a keeper hut and a staff room. Nice. So work zone number 10. And we'll call that, let's just call it Wallaby Cave. And let's find a spare keeper. And assign you. We've still got some spare ones that are just walking around as well. Okay, good. Let's get back to this. So let's get... So this is going to be quite a serious habitat, this one, a serious enclosure. So we want a nice solid looking gate. And we want a nice mesh. I don't know why it always does bricks. It's very annoying. So let's come over here at the edge. Let's go around there. I'll get rid of this rock on the corner here. So we want a bit of a gap between the pathways as well, because you know, these you don't want people getting too close to this sort of habitat. So actually, yeah, even that one probably is a bit too close, really. Yeah, this is definitely too close here. That would definitely be a bit more over there, like so. And then let's just get all of this as well. Good, so we've got a nice mesh cage, although it clearly needs to be a lot higher than that. If it's going to have leopards in it, it needs to be right up there somewhere. And we also need to put on climb proof. Excellent stuff. Right, so let's get rid of that rock. So here we go. There's our basic shape. I'm going to give them a small bit of water. Let's do... Ooh, this could be interesting. I could do like a little waterfall area. So we'll give them a little sunken area like that, with some water. And let's just come into here. Have I favorited the water pieces? I have not. So let's just see if I can make this look anywhere close to half decent. So I'm just thinking I'll just do a little thing like this. I think it looks quite nice having a bit of water in a jungle habitat. And that will go right to there. Nice. Then I will obviously I'll do a whole load of rock work. Let's get the animals in. Actually, let's do that next. So let's have a look. So we want an African leopard. So we're just going to have a pair. So let's have a look. Let's get, I like the name Bem, that's pretty cool. And let's get Capybara. And then we were going to have, oh, aardvarks, here we go. So we'll have a pair of these as well. Let's get Delilah and Camel. Here we go. So let's just get them in and see whether they can move about as it is. Let's wait for them to appear. Great, here we go. Let's have a look. Okay, let's see. Good, and they can hop up on there as well. Let's see, what about the aardvarks? Aardvarks can get about okay. Obviously they can't climb on there, but that's fine. They can get in the water, they can't get out there, so I might try and do something with rocks there. It's going to be tricky because it isn't a particularly big habitat. Wow, he just leapt straight over, didn't he? It's a bit crazy. Yeah, so I'm just thinking I could probably just use something like this to create an edge over here. I don't know why this piece is always wonky. I wish it was just a big flat piece. Okay, that's too much for there, that's fine. That should at least allow them to go around a bit better. Yeah, there we go, that's good. Cool, and then I've got to cover this up. And somehow create a sort of a bed area as well. So I guess it's one of those processes where you just got to kind of start building and see where you end up. And obviously this is going to burst through the wall a bit, but that's okay. I can deal with that outside. I can take that down onto the walkway a bit. Oh, that's going to be fine. So I'll have to try and find ways of blocking this off a bit so that the animals can't climb up and escape. So we don't want our leopards to be able to just walk up here and jump over the fence, do we? Pretty straightforward, this kind of thing, and it does look good. Well, I think it does anyway. You guys can be the real judges. So this is just getting your basic covering in, and then you can look at detailing it a bit more. So something like that, and then I'll probably just have a little covering down here as well, like so. Okay, so how is that looking? Okay, he's stuck, that's not good. We don't want animals being stuck. Okay, it's getting there. Just want to make sure that they can all move around. There we go. Good. They can get everywhere. And let's just check the cats. Yes, cats can go everywhere. They can escape, so I may have to just do something up there just to change that, because they do leap all over the place. So yeah, this back here. So what I might do is adjust the height of this bit of fencing at the back here. I could literally, actually, if I could do sort of that one and that one, couldn't I? Just lift that up a bit more like that. That should solve that problem. Yes, good. And they can still go everywhere. It's really nice because it'd be lovely to see the cats jumping up all over there. There we go. That's going to do it for now. Let's leave it there and we'll crack on with this in our next episode. So what do you think? Do you like my plans for my next zoo? Do you like what I'm doing in this zoo? Do you think I should call it a day after this habitat? Should I do anything else around here, or should I just create a nice outer edge to this zoo and then call it a day? Let me know what you think. Also, do you like my combination of aardvarks and leopards? I hope that meets your approval, Super Ghost. I think it was you that recommended that. So yeah, there we go. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Brilliant. Okay, take care of yourselves, and hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Until then, bye for now.